A very warm welcome to all the attendees. Thank you for joining us in this webinar on digitizing your employee performance management, doing it the right way. I'm Manali Vyas, your host today. This session will be for 45 minutes, and this webinar is conducted by Synergita. Synergita is a cloud-based performance management and analytics software which helps you focus on employee performance, employee engagement, and employee development. I would like to introduce you to the speakers for this session. The first presenter for today's session is Ms. Yani Chen. Yani has several years of experience in HR field. Currently, she is performance management expert at Synergita and handles the pre-sales for US region. The second presenter for this session is Mr. Narayanan Ramaiah. Narayanan is the manager channel development at Synergita. He has diverse experience of 17 plus years. He has worked in lead management, sales corporate development during his career. He was instrumental in taking Synergita to the market. Narayanan played crucial role in getting the first 50 customers for Synergita. Now, before handing over the control to Yani and Narayanan, here are a few housekeeping instructions. All phones are set to mute. If you have any questions, please type them in the chat window located beside the presentation panel. We have received several questions from the registrants which will be answered by the speakers during Q&A sessions. We will continue to collect more questions during the session and will try to answer them during today's session. If we are not able to address all your queries during the session, you will certainly receive answers via email shortly. Thank you for your participation and enjoy the session. Over to you, Yani.
Thank you, Manali, and hello, everyone. My name is Yani, and I am the Performance Management Software Expert at Synergita. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me today in our webinar discussing the importance of digitizing the performance management process. Today I'll be discussing why in today's fast-paced environment it is essential to digitize the way you handle performance management. Over 80% of organizations and companies have or are already making changes to their performance management process because they know that the traditional management process with their pen and paper or Word documents simply do not work. Employees and managers dread the annual process. They prefer the process to be more short and sweet, have informal check-ins, and would like to be integrated with a continuous feedback process. Traditional annual reviews are simply not effective and do not contain any of these elements. So how do you incorporate these elements in continuous feedback process for performance management when just the annual review process takes up hundreds and hundreds of hours worth of work? In order to do this, you simplify and manage this process through a digital solution and enhance the process with other best practices for performance management along the way. You solve these other pain points that come with a non-traditional performance management process, such as the lack of employee engagement, lack of flexibility in goal setting, lack of metrics of database assessment, and lack of proper communication between the employee and manager. So knowing that we have to move from a traditional process to a digital one, it brings the question, what is the right way to do it? And how do we digitize your performance management process? Is there a tool that can answer to all these pain points? To answer those questions, I pass your attention to Mr. Narayanan Ramaiah, Manager and Channel Development at Synergita.
Thank you, Yani. Thank you for the quick intro, and I'll be walking through this. So here I'll be quickly talking about what is the right tool to digitize the performance management and answer all the pain points that Yani had mentioned. Today's key performance management trends. Employee performance management is becoming a business priority across industries and verticals. It is a way to retain and motivate employees. Management and organizations started realizing that annual appraisals are ineffective and the business returns are minimal. Continuous based performance management process is gaining momentum. So people today want to have periodic feedback, continuous check-ins, so on and so forth. Key performance management trends continuing here. Employee reviews are getting more development oriented than compensation oriented. Days are gone when people have been reviewed only for their kind of a pay rolls or increase in salaries. Today people want to grow within the organization, nurture them and grow them. So it's more development oriented. Automating performance management is a focus for several companies, and we have been seeing this consistently in the recent past. Creating an employee engagement is a buzzword. So What do we do here actually? We as a Synergita, we have a product, a solution which helps automating all this performance management, employee engagement, and employee development. Synergita is a Microsoft Code for HANA winner and Codie finalist. We have been Codie finalists for consecutive 2 years as such. And companies like Microsoft and Adobe participate in Codie and they vie to have this. We are a Codie finalist for best human capital and talent management solution. What is Synergita? Synergita is a continuous-based performance management solution. Synergita covers employees' goals management, performance reviews, continuous feedback, rewards and recognition, employee development and engagement survey as such. Synergita has 75,000 users on board currently with about 60 plus customers. Our customers are spread across US, India, Middle East, Sri Lanka, South Africa, and Singapore. Our largest customer is about 25,000 employees, and we work with a diverse industry. Synergita is kind of very flexible, simple, and easy to use. These are the value proposition that we bring to table. We promise zero disruption. So we understand your current process within the organization, and we make sure that we do not disrupt your existing process. InstaGo, the Synergita can be made live within 3 to 4 weeks of time once you decide to go automate your employee performance management, and it gives you 100% compliance, and it elevates the HR to be a strategic partner. It gives a peace of mind and personal touch to what you do. So what are the key differentiators here? Again, we have quite a few wow features. We have mobile app both for Android and iOS. Again, it's a very easy to administer, simple to use, and extremely easy to use from an employee perspective. We would like to walk you through our product demo, kind of a very high level on what we have in terms of functionality. Yanni will be walking you through the high level functionalities about the product as such. Thank you. Over to you, Yanni.
Thank you, Narayan. So there are 3 types of stakeholders on Synergita, and they are the employee, the manager, and the head of human resources. And right now, I'm just going to log in as Steve, who is a manager. And the first thing you're going to see when I log in is the customizable homepage or a landing page. And you can use this page for anything you want. For example, making announcements. Synergita has filled this page with a simple welcome message on your right-hand side and a workflow chart on your left-hand side. Next, I just wanted to bring your attention to this navigational pane we have here. And it was designed to be simple, minimalistic, and user-friendly. The hamburger menu icon actually allows you to expand and collapse the space to give you more real estate on your screen. So now I just wanted to walk you through the dashboard on Synergita. And this is where you'll be able to see at a high level important information through customizable widgets. And the first widget we have at the top right here is the headcount widget or the designation widget, which shows a breakdown of all the employees that Steve, the manager, manages. So say Steve or any other manager wants to see how many sales managers he has on his team. This widget allows him to see within one click the basic information for that designation and to have up-to-date information on his team, which is great for seeing distribution, checking in on new hires and exits. And the next widget we have here is the pending activities widget, which happens to be my favorite tool within Synergita because it makes completing tasks so simple. It acts as a sort of to-do list for all the activities you have pending completion. Right up here, I can see that I have 5 activities that are currently pending completion, and Alex Tom is awaiting my one-on-one feedback to him. In order to complete this action, all I need to do is click into this action item column, go into the link, and it will take me to the appropriate page. With Synergita, you are never more than 2 to 3 clicks away from completing any task that you need to do. Digitizing your performance management process through Synergita allows the manager to keep track of what he needs to do, no matter how big his team member is. So no ball is ever dropped. All the team members get the proper attention they deserve. And then the great widget within Synergita is the feedback cycle status widget right here. And this allows you to see where your team members stand in the review or appraisal cycle. With Synergita, the feedback status cycle becomes automated. No longer do you need to just send out a Word or Excel document to your team member and wait for them to send it back. with the traditional performance process. With this feature, you can see exactly where they are in the process and use a system to send them gentle, automated reminders to complete their end of the process. And this just ensures that both employees and managers are able to meet deadlines. And these are some of the widgets that can help improve your process on Synergita. And next, I just wanted to take you through the People tab. And this feature on Synergita just captures your team's talent information. Under this section, you will be able to see basic information such as organization details, reporting structure, personal details, travel information, education information, experience, skills, and any important documentation reporting that would you like saved onto the system. And as a manager, you may be able to see the same information for your team member as well. Simply click into the My Team link under People, and you will get an overview for all the people on your team. Click into your team member's name, such as Sarah Smith right here, will take me to Sarah's profile. I will also be able to see the same important information for my team members. And now I'm going to show you the performance section of Synergita. And right now we're looking at a general performance page for a user, and it shows information such as whatever goals they might have, your past feedback, continuous feedback, and the score trend, all in one place. So at a glance, in the Goals tab, you will see that you can see basic information such as the goals the user has completed, goals that are in progress, goals that have not yet started, and goals that are considered long overdue. Within Synergita, you can categorize your goals into different categories, such as SMART goals and competencies. And within Synergita, you can see great information for these goals, such as the goal name, a description of a goal, how you measure that goal in terms of your target, your due date, and your achieved target right here, all in one page. And the View Past Feedback tab allows you to see information from previous appraisal cycles. To view that, you can simply just use the drop-down menu right here and select whatever cycle you want to see for. No longer do you have to request previous feedback review documents from your HR department, which sometimes can take up to several hours a day. Simply use this drop-down menu within Synergita, and you'll be able to pull that information whenever you need it at any time, right? With the system. At the very top right here, you can see the feedback score that the manager and the employee has given themselves. And over here, you can also see that score is reiterated. By scrolling down to this page, you can see all the previous goals that the employee has given himself and what the feedback he has given for himself during that cycle. Here, I can see that under SMART goals, myself, I have this sales target goal, and I can see what the name, the description, the target, due date, and achieved target is. I can see right here what feedback I gave myself. Right here, I said that I stuck to my timetable and was able to sell properly. I gave myself 2 out of 3 in rating. My manager, Alexander, has given me feedback for this and has also given me a rating as well. So should you ever need this information to be printed or saved onto hard copy, you can easily export it within Synergita by using the icons on your top right-hand side right here, and you can save it as a PDF file or an Excel file as well. And the next tab is the Continuous Feedback tab, and this is where all the continuous feedback process happens. And it's sort of similar to a social media wall or a social media feed where every user on Synergita can post or give their appreciation or compliments to another member of the organization. Most recent posts are featured at the top, and you can see who made those posts and who those posts are in regards to. These posts can be categorized and set to be either public or private. And users could also comment on any appreciations or feedback that anyone has for each other. Synergita users have found this continuous feedback process to be helpful in creating a healthy work environment within the organization and motivates employees to continue with their extraordinary performance. This allows for easy and improved frequency of engagement between management and employee. But say you didn't want to sign into Synergita in order to give someone continuous feedback. Synergita has this great plugin for your Outlook program, which allows you to send feedback from Outlook without having to log into the system. We have also recently launched our app that is available in the Apple Store and the Google Play Store, so so you can give continuous feedback straight from your phone. And to give someone feedback within Synergita, all you need to do is go into the engagement section and click onto the continuous feedback page. And from here, to give someone feedback, all you need to do is hit add, choose who you want to give the feedback to, and you can also categorize these feedback in any way you want, such as confidential notes, one-on-one meeting, others. You can also select to give an employee an award, such as Employee of the Month or Employee of the Year. Then type in your comment into the comment text box, hit post, and you will see your feedback updated within real time on Synergita. So now I just want to go back and to bring your attention back to the workflow chart that we saw at the beginning of the page. And this is just an example of how someone would handle their performance management process or annual appraisal process within Synergita. And of course, as we said before, people are moving away from an annual review. With Synergita, you do not need to you can set this performance process for however long you like. It doesn't have to be an annual cycle. It can be every 3 months, every 6 months, whatever works for you and your organization. You can even have more than one sort of workflow within Synergita as well. So as an example, I will be taking you through this simple process for appraisal, which starts by setting goals, followed by self-assessment, manage feedback, and ending with a one-to-one meeting. And from here, the first step is to set goals for an employee. And I will be doing that by hitting the set goals link, and it will take me to the appropriate page. And here I am setting goals for my team member, Liz Davis. And at the top, I can see whatever goals she has already completed, goals in progress, not yet started, and whatever she has overdue. To assign goals to my team member, all I need to do is scroll down and input the information into the provided fields below, such as the title, description, measure, target, due date, and achieve target for that goal. Let's say I want Liz as a sales manager has similar goals to the other sales members on her team. And I know that, I will be giving her the same type of goals as someone else. Manually entering each goal for each sales member can be a long process. Synergita has eliminated that laborious process for you by creating a library where you'll be able to easily select goals to assign to your team member. You can choose from any preset SMART goals within your organization, employee template, and master template as well. After you've selected your goals, it will be pre-populated into this section, and once you hit save and submit, the goals will be assigned to your employee. So after an employee reviews their goals, they may want to give their own self-assessment for those goals. In the process, they will be, within Synergita, they will be hitting the self-assessment link, and they will then input their own feedback for whatever goals they have. And you can see here that in the goals page, you can see how much of the feedback you have completed. So say, someone who has only completed half of their feedback for the goals, you can see at the top that you need to continue on. And at the bottom here, you can see the same information as before, how your goals are categorized, the name of that goal, description, and other information as we've seen before. Synergita right now, for this purposes of this demonstration, is using a 3-point rating scale for goals. Synergita, as before mentioned by Narayana, has a zero disruption policy. So this means that we try to conform to your organization's standards as much as possible to ensure that you're up and running right away. So say your organization does not use a 3-point rating system. They use a 5-point rating system. We can easily adjust the system to go use a 5-point rating system instead of a 3-point rating system. But what if, certain goals have a 3-point rating system and other goals have a 5-point rating system? We can easily adjust to the system to fit your needs in those aspects as well. So right now, I'm giving myself above expectations because I think I did great in my sales target goal. At the bottom here, I can type my feedback on how I did for that goal. And say I wanted my manager to take into consideration this great email I received from a client that shows how great I did with this goal. You can use this feature right here in Synergita to attach the files, as long as they do not exceed the 10 megabyte restriction. And I can simply upload to the system, and my manager will be able to take a look at that, what I've uploaded, and take that into the consideration when it's their turn to give me feedback as well. And once I've completed all my feedback, I hit save, and my manager will be notified that it is his turn to give feedback on the goals I've currently provided. And in the very next step, you'll see a sort of familiar sort of thing as before, where all the goals are nicely listed out. And on the bottom right here, I can see what sort of feedback that my team member has given. Again, the goals are categorized. I can see the title of the goal, and at the bottom, whatever feedback that person has given themselves. I can see their rating right here, whatever feedback they have typed into the feedback box, and right below them, I can set my own feedback for that goal. I can also agree that Tony Paul did met above expectations for this goal. And the same thing here, I am also able to write any comments that I have for Tony as well. And the same as before, I can also attach any file that I want to take into to show Tony, or I deem is relevant for this target. Let's say Tony had a similar goal to the previous year as to this year, and I want to look back at it and see how he did previously compared to this week, and what maybe he had continuous feedback that would throughout the system that would help help me take into consideration what sort of feedback I should give Tony here. Synergita has this great tool at the right-hand side where I'm able to easily pull information from previous feedback cycles and as well as the continuous feedback page. And that way I can be sure I am giving Tony an accurate assessment and help him really reach these goals. And same as before, should I ever want to hard copy of this information, I can easily hit the export button at the top here, and I can go over this with Tony in a one-to-one meeting or just simply through with the system. And the last step for this demo appraisal cycle is the one-on-one meeting. And this feature in Synergita allows you to capture information about the one-on-one meeting that I've had with my team member. You can see some rating summary right here as a refresher of what score my team member gave themselves and what score I gave them as well. And within this section, I can set the meeting summary date and write notes for that meeting as well, such as what we talked about, some key elements that my team member really wanted to highlight, some elements that I should remember for our next meeting as well. And this is just an example of how you can do a performance feedback annual performance cycle within Synergita. And now I'm just going to be moving from the manager onto the head of HR role within Synergita. And I'm just going to log in as Mark, who is head of HR. And once again, you will arrive at the dashboard or customizable landing page. And the major difference between HR and a manager is that they are able to generate great reports to help them with their talent management process. Synergita is capable of generating useful reports, and we have over 32 types of reports that we have available for the head of human resources that we group into two categories, and they are the employee management reports and the performance management reports as well. I'm just going to show you some examples of the performance management report, and one of our most popular reports is this 9-quadrant report right here, which is a great tool for talent management. Within Synergita, your time is not spent on manually compiling reports for your organization. Whether you have a small team of 50 people or 300 people, manually pulling PDFs and Excel files is a time-consuming process. Synergita is able to do all these reports for you within 2 to 3 clicks. So this report takes your entire organization's employee information and organizes them into 9 boxes or 9 categories. For our demo, our employees have been organized into achievers, good performers, star, performer, rising star, talented, non-performer, growing, and unrealized potential. On the x-axis, we have job skills, and on the y-axis, we have SMART goals. So this means that these 23 people here listed as unrealized potentials have great skills but are not performing well. When I click into this box right here, I can see a list of who these unrealized potentials are. So I can begin to construct a plan in order to help them achieve their goals, nurture their growth, and move them up from being an unrealized potential to perhaps a good performer. Identifying them and giving them ongoing coaching, mentoring, feedback will help the employee to feel valued and important within your organization. And on the other hand, we have achievers that are great that are meeting their goals that have low skills. Now that you have information, you can take them into consideration what the goal plan for them would be. HR professionals have found this tool to be very helpful because they do not need to contact separate managers in different divisions or units in order to find this information. It allows them to make split-second decisions under their team. And of course, Synergita prides itself on being efficient and having zero disruption to your current workflow. All these nomenclatures and names and labels can be easily modified to fit the standards of your organization. You can set what you want as the x-axis, the y-axis, and you can change the quadrant and grid labels as well. And another great tool within Synergita is the new joiner summary tool, and this is an example of one of the employee management reports. And this here just allows HR to generate and see at a glance a report of who joined the company and when they joined in an easy to read, easy to digest graphical manner. This tool and information can help HR director to ensure that these new joiners are properly enrolled in the onboarding program or receive proper training and compliance for the company. And these are just some examples of reports that HR can easily generate and have access to within a few clicks within Synergita because all this information has already been captured in the system. When you know and can easily pull information on your employees' knowledge, skills, and potential for different parts of your organization, the potential and development for internal talent is magnified with both organization and talent management. So that is at a high level some of the great features that Synergita offers to help automate performance management, increase employee engagement, and employee development. It is also a great tool to move yourself from the traditional performance management to a digital one. I hope that you may find this information and any of the features within Synergita useful. And now we will be moving on to the question and answer portion of our webinar. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Annie. It was a very nice session and very informative session as such. So before getting into the question and answers, I was quickly showing what are the key takeaways. Like I would recommend saying that strengthen your employee performance management process to increase employee engagement, and again automate your performance management engagement activity. Make it very simple and easy to use, so that people can actually make it to the point as such. Plan your activity throughout the year instead of having it as a one-time or a quarterly activity. Let us plan the activity throughout the year as such actually. Now let us take the questions. We have few questions and Manali will be listing down the questions and we can probably talk about it.
Thank you, Yanni. Thank you, Narayan. So here comes the first question. Do you integrate with other HRIS system? If so, which one?
It's a good question. So yes, Synergita has APIs and web services. It can be integrated with any other HRIS or HRMS in the world. So if you look at our expertise, we have already done integration with SAP. We have done with the Oracle kind of thing. We have also we have a large customer, as I said, about 25,000 employees, where they use a lot of enterprise resource planning systems, which are pretty big. Name it, they have everything. They have 14 different business units, and name it, they have everything. So we are currently integrating it. Technically, it is feasible, and we have done it and it works very well. We have integrated with a lot of payroll systems across the globe, in Dubai, Middle East, in Singapore, in India, and in US, and we have integrated with in-house systems. It's very simple and easy, and we will be able to integrate it as such actually.
Great. Another question for you, Narayanan. What is your payment model?
If you look at it again, it's a pay per employee per month kind. We are hosted on cloud, and it's available on a SaaS model. So it's kind of a pay per employee per month. It's a SaaS model as such actually, and we currently have a special kind of a offer which we are rolling it out starting from today. We will be able to talk on that in detail.
Okay, another question. How often can check-ins be done through Synergita?
So periodic check-ins can be done in the sense the way you want to do it. You can do it weekly, monthly. So there are people who do it monthly check-ins. There are people who do it quarterly check-ins. So it's easy to configure it on how you want that. So we will be able to do a check-ins how many ever times you want to do that as such.
Okay, here's another question. How does your Thanksgiving Day offer work?
So yes, I think you are able to see that on the screen in terms of pricing as such actually. So we have kind of come up with an offer which is risk-free, no commitments, pay as you go, and your first 3 months will be on a kind of a free. We will in fact add a small setup cost which will be very nominal, and you will be able to use it. We will also, based on the organization size, we will be able to work out on even the setup cost as such. We wanted to have this as a Thanksgiving offer.
Okay, one of our attendees is asking, any screenshots of what the mobile app looks like?
Yes, we can send the screenshots. We can probably send the presentation of our mobile app. It's already available and people have started using it. We can send a presentation to everyone as such actually, so that they will be able to look into our presentation. And you can also download in case you wanted to quickly try our mobile app. Probably once you come back to us, we can share you the credentials. You can log in and try out our mobile app as well. Looks like there's one more question on the integration. So it is like, is there have you done a AD integration? Yes, this is one question that I love to answer as such actually. As I said, one of our largest customers is about 25,000 employees. We have done one of the largest AD integration in Asia Pacific region. So even Microsoft had appreciated us in this. This is one of the largest integration in this part of the world, and we have very successfully done, and our customers and even the technology team from the Microsoft was very happy on doing a Active Directory integration for such a large crowd as such.
Wow, great, Narayanan. I think we are running out of time now, so let's wind up the session, and whatever questions we have received further, we'll send them through the email IDs. And thank you all for attending this session. Hope you all had a good session, and further, if you have any queries, please feel free to send them at info@synergita.com, and also we will send the recorded version of this webinar to all of you.
Thank you, Manali. Thank you, Annie. It was really a very pleasure talking to all, in the sense showing our product, and hope people will make use of our Thanksgiving offer. We are open to discuss, and as I said, it's an InstaGo. You can go live in next 3 weeks, and you can start using this for this year appraisal, and it makes a huge difference. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Annie.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all. Bye.